This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay, well, this is maybe the biggest bomb in the set. It's up there. You know, it made my top 10 bombs list, and I think in terms of win rate on 17 lands, it might be at the top. The only downside about the card is the whole 3 green mana thing, which can be surprisingly a pain and limited even by turn 6. You just don't always have it, but it doesn't really matter when you play this. It just takes over the game with 3 bodies that grow, you know, when one of them dies. It is a bit of a bummer, the champions here, because it's like an incredibly good uncommon and probably the next card to get taken out of this pack. I mean, Pie Wielder's up there too, but probably means the person to our left is also going to try to be in green. So it's worth thinking about really cutting green in this pack and hoping. I mean, we need someone to our right to not be in green, probably, and cut all the good green cards we can. Okay, I mean, I could take the Oof or the Witch Stalker, both of which are playable, but it isn't like either of them is like amazing. I mean, I think I'm probably just supposed to take Torch the Tower here. You know, it's too good to give up. It's definitely the best card in this pack. I like Restless Fortress, but yeah, these 2 green cards aren't going to be things that the person to our left takes after taking the champion anyway, I don't think. I mean, there's better cards in that pack. Yeah, we have done well anytime we've had Torch the Tower, that's for sure. This is another pack without any good green stuff. This card isn't... I mean, I think it's pretty much unplayable. So, this pack is pretty weak in general, I gotta say. Yeah. Well... So, the red cards aren't amazing, but, you know, the Grand Ball Guest is fine. Gatekeeper's pretty good too, but I think because I already have Torch the Tower, I'll take a red card. I mean, I think these are sort of comparable. They're both like average cards, you know. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and take Grand Ball Guest. If we see any like remotely good green cards, we're going to want to snag them. The fact that we haven't passed any good ones so far might scare the person to our left enough anyway, but obviously we have Gruff Triplets. It would be nice to get some of the mana creatures. It does really seem like someone to our right must be in green, doesn't it? Because, man, we haven't seen any green worth taking. Like, you know, this is fine, but there's also a Threadbind click, which I think is so good that you kind of have to take it here. You know, removal spell on one side, creature on the other is pretty nuts and limited, and that's what it is, so we'll take it here. Someone to our right probably opened Gruff Triplets too. It's taking all the good green cards out of these packs before they get to us. It is a bummer when it happens, but it does happen. You know, sometimes you pack one, pick one a bomb, and forcing it isn't the right thing, and it certainly wouldn't be. Like, if green continues to look how it has in this pack, it certainly wouldn't have been right to do because the green cards have been middling at best. So, and that trend continues. I mean, you know, this can fix your mana. This is Disenchant, but it is not very good. I'm probably just supposed to take Stone Splitter Bolt. Attendance isn't bad, but I do think the Bolt's better. We did first pick a Gruff Triplets, but it's not looking great for our chances to play it, unfortunately. I mean, if I had taken every best green card in this pack so far, the cards I have would all be way worse than these. So, like, way worse. So much worse that it wouldn't be worth it just for triplets. Bummer. Yeah, no green left here at all. All right, so we have a choice here. We could take something like Two Unveil Guide, which is a more sort of aggressive card, and we'd be like a red-white deck. Or we could take the Firebolt, which works okay in all decks, but it's definitely better in a deck like blue-red. I think I've liked red-white a little more than I've liked blue-red, but yeah. I mean, I think Besotted Knight's fine too, but I think we'll take the Guide. Maybe. I don't know. We have a bunch of red cards already. I probably should just take the good red card. That's what I'll do. Okay, so there are some playable green cards here. We do also have a Snare Master sprite, but I think Beanstalk Worm is good enough for us to grab it here. You know, it's not anything special. It's not going to let you ramp as often as you think, but it's probably the second best card in this pack anyway, after Snare Master sprite. So it's not like I'm doing something crazy there. All right, well, then there's this pack. I guess we'll take the Giant. It's nice to have some fixing. Yeah, so here's an Unruly Catapult if we want to go the blue-red route. It's probably the card here with the highest ceiling. You know, these are mostly kind of mediocre. Titanic Growth isn't anything special. Skewer Slinger's okay. I've had slower red-green decks where it's actually been pretty good, but I think Catapult has a way higher ceiling. Okay, so these both made it back. We'll take an oath. I think it's fine. I mean, if we end up in straight-up red-green, Witchstalker can be pretty good, but right now we're not that good at making it work, so I'd rather have the disenchant effect. Impact Tremors is not particularly good, I don't think, so I'll take a Gatekeeper. All right, we're taking Outrider. Maybe there just wasn't any green in that pack, because it's not, you know, taking these now, it really isn't that bad. Taking them when they were the best green card in the pack would have been really bad, but, you know. So, here's a Moonshaker Cavalry. You know, triple white. I don't think we're going that route. If we had a bunch of ramp in, like, green-white, it might be kind of funny, but... Okay, so, speaking of ramp, we do have a Red Cap Thief. That makes Gruff Triplets easier to cast. That said, we've also got a Red Tooth Vanguard and a Stromkeld Vanguard, both of which are good. Hey, they're both Vanguards. They're both very, very good green uncommons. I like the Werefox, too, so... Let's see. Right now, we're not that good at making this do its thing. I do like the Vanguard a lot. You know, it's often able to blow up something somewhat meaningful early, and then it comes down as a big monster late, but... At this point, we've already got Gruff Triplets in that slot, which is just way better. So I think I'd probably just take Red Cap Thief. It'll also trigger Celebration. We already have one card with that, and sets up Bargain and stuff. So I think we go with the Thief. All right, not good green cards here. Witch's Vanity is really, really good, but I think we've sort of locked ourselves in on red-green for the most part. Another Grand Ball Guest seems fine. Probably better than Merry Bards. So, do I want yet another one? Nah, we'll take a Root Rider Fawn. This is something that makes it easier to cast Gruff Triplets, and it's just a good card anyway. Even helps you splash like off-color adventures and stuff. So, yeah, I feel like green was just not in that first pack at all. So, most of the time when I play this format, I'd probably take Minecart Daredevil here, and maybe I still should. But I'm kind of thinking about the Fawn, given what our deck looks like. I do love this card. I mean, I've had decks with 4 or 5 of them, and they've all won 6 or more games. So, you know, it's just, you know, good trick on one side. Sometimes it just gets in for extra damage, and then you cast it. Sometimes you just blow your opponent out with the trick. Tempest Heart's pretty good, too. And right now, you know, we have a couple cards that'll trigger it, but I'm probably just supposed to take another Fawn. Okay, I think I like Ratcatcher Trainee a little bit more than Grand Ball Guest. Uprising is okay, but we're not really in the right deck for it right now. Okay, so Grand Ball Guest versus Witch's Mark and Witchstalker. I do like Bellowing Bruiser okay too, but doing reasonably well on 2-drops right now. This can help us find Gruff Triplets, right? Witchstalker, we do have a 3-mana 4-power creature right now, but which makes it a little bit better. I'm probably just supposed to take a 2-drop, though. Well, there's Thunderous Debut. That card, I think, has underperformed. I mean, I think I was a little too high on it. If we're going to play it in any deck, it might be this one, but I have found that the fact, even if you have like a good ramp thing going on, we'll take a Witchstalker now. The fact that it's just dead in your hand for so much of the game is kind of a problem. I'll take Brave. We might want more fixing at some point. Right now I don't, but... All right, we'll take a Bruiser here. So yeah, I guess that, I mean, we got plenty of playable green cards in this pack. Yet another Grand Ball guest. Finding more ways to trigger Celebration is probably a good idea. The trainee does it for us. We don't have that many other ways. Red Cap Thieves are going to be a little better. Like turn 3 Red Cap Thief after a turn 2 trainee is pretty good. So we're mostly an aggro deck, honestly, but we have, like, you know, this crazy late game play. I mean, the reason I'm saying maybe we'll play it in this deck is we have 2 Root Rider Fawns already, and we have Gruff Triplets, and this is the kind of bomb that is, if not entirely unbeatable, it gets pretty darn close, because even if you're behind, those 3 bodies get you back in the game. If you're ahead, you're just going to overwhelm your opponent, and if you're at parity, it's going to pull you ahead. So, you know, it's pretty bonkers. Okay, so we have Eldraine. Right now, we have a couple cards that'll trigger it, but she's not honestly that... I mean, you know, I would play a 4-mana 4/4 with upside, but I'm not going to take it in this pack over things like Minecart Daredevil or Picnic Ruiner, both of which have, like, way more approachable floors and everything like that. I think we take Picnic Ruiner in the end. We have access to both sides, which makes it a lot better. The Daredevil, like I said earlier, I do like it a lot. I like Werefox too, but the Ruiner is going to have double strike a lot, and we'll be able to cast both sides. Okay, well, here is Eldraine again. I might actually take this one. I think it's better than Beanstalk Worm, Merry Bards, and Return from the Wild. So, yeah. This does ramp us, but I'm kind of thinking we're not going to run Thunderous Debut. I've done it twice now and been thoroughly underwhelmed both times, so, you know. And I've even cast it and been like, okay, I mean, I got a Hamlet, Glutton, and something else, but this was stuck in my hand for so long that I was unable to add to the board because of it, that it doesn't really help me enough to get back in this game. Okay, I do like Howling Gale thing. So we will grab it here. We have enough adventures. It'll have haste often enough. Yeah, I don't really want Evolving Wilds. Edgewall Inn is interesting. We don't have an incredible number of adventures, though, honestly. This is not a very adventure-heavy deck overall. I mean, we've got them, of course. It's hard not to, but I don't have so many that I want to take it over Embereth Veteran, I don't think. Yeah. Tough Cookie, that's a nice 2-drop. I think it is better than Graceful Takedown. We don't have an overwhelming amount of removal, I guess, but we have, like, the minimal amount, and Tough Cookie's just a great 2-drop. Even if we don't have other food around, it's amazing, and we don't really right now, so, you know. Okay, Edgewall Pack. Well, I'll probably take Takedown over it. I do like, you know, the idea of Edgewall Pack when we've got 4 Grand Ball guests is interesting, but this is a good enough removal spell. I'm probably just supposed to take it. Another Witch's Mark isn't really something I want. I'm going to just take the Oppression here for the gems. Woodland Acolyte's not worth it if we can't consistently cast the other side. I know we have 2 Root Rider Fawns, but that's not really consistent enough. It's obviously a really good card, but not really going to work for us. Yep, going to take another card because of gems. I mean, you know, when there's, like, no value to be had in packs, that is something that's worth considering. All right. This thing is actually playable, so we'll take it. I don't know that it's going to make the cut, but it is playable. Yeah, we're going to... That first pack was so strange. Like, in the end, green was open, but that first pack was really like, uh-oh. Maybe it's not. Yeah, I don't think we play debut. We don't have so much ramp that getting to 8 is going to be, like, easy, and we don't have that much bargain fodder, honestly. I mean, we have some, but probably not enough. I don't know. If I had more roll tokens, I think I might be interested in the Brute, but we'll just take Impact Tremors. Yeah, Utopia Sprawl would have been cool. That's for sure. But yeah, I think Thunderous Awakening is going to be on my... This week's Needs and Notes will be 10 cards I was wrong about, you know, the early version. I do a later, like, after the end of the format retrospective one, but I also do one, like, 20 drafts in, and that'll be the end of the week this week. And it's definitely going to be on there, I think. So, you know, in a world where we have Gruff Triplets, it is tempting to play things like the Tracker, more defensive cards where we can, because, you know, if we get to the point where we can cast this, we're going to win a huge percentage of the time. So, worth thinking about it. How are we doing on... Yeah, we've got 3 instants and 1 sorcery, and then how many adventures? Does this show adventures? How does this not show adventures? You're going to make me count? Man, that's hard. Counting's hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, and we're probably going to end up cutting at least 1 Beanstalk Worm. So I don't think we're going to like Frantic Firebolt in our deck. Don't think it really does the thing. Yeah. So I'm probably going to cut 1 Skybeast Tracker to start with. I might cut more. Imidane's not amazing, especially now that we cut Frantic Firebolt, but we do have Torch the Tower. I mean, Stone Splitter Bolt plus Imidane is definitely a thing, because, you know, if you could just double this, you know, that combo enough is probably a reason, enough upside on our 4-mana 4/4 to leave it in. Plus we also have Torch the Tower, but, oh yeah, we don't want Unruly Catapult at all. I kind of forgot I took that in the early stages when I was like, maybe we'll be a blue-red deck. Nope. Yeah. So a couple more cuts. We do probably want to run the full 17 lands. We could consider going lower, but we kind of need to have 9 forests for Gruff Triplets, and I don't really want to go down to 7 mountains. So, yeah. One thing we don't have, you know, and I passed a couple of them just because there were stronger cards, but I would have liked to pick up some tricks. Would have made our early game a little more formidable, but I think we'll still be able to do some significant damage early and then, you know, play Gruff Triplets late. I'm probably going to end up cutting this Tracker in the end. We have 3 cards that trigger it, and it's a 4-mana 2/4 with reach. I don't really need a giant Mantis in my deck, so I'm just going to cut it. That's true. I could type Adventure in. That's probably a good idea. Probably go down a Witch Stalker. We're not like an amazing deck for it by any stretch. I mean, it'll have 3 power and be able to attack sometimes, but when it's really good is when you have like multiple 3-mana 4-power creatures, and we have exactly one of those, so I'm gonna cut that. All right, I think this looks pretty good. We have Gruff Triplets after all. We have a pretty nice curve. We have decent removal. I would have liked more tricks. That's the ingredient that I think is missing, but that's okay. All right. Well, Gruff Triplets is in our opening hand, and we do have access to 3 green mana between Root Rider, Fawn, Redcap, Thief. We might be able to play it on turn 5? Turn 4? Okay. Maybe we'll play turn 4 Gruff Triplets. I don't know. It's possible. Hard to imagine we lose. I mean, I guess they could have a sweeper. That's like the only way one would lose that game. I do think we run out the Fawn. There's kind of something to be said for maybe playing the Trainee, because if it gets removed, you know, I don't lose one of my green sources of mana. Like, this is a fragile source of mana since it can die to removal. But we kind of need to play it now and Redcap Thief next turn to have that turn 5 possibility, though. So, yeah, we do want to play it. It might die, and if it does, we're not going to have our, you know, super early Gruff Triplets, but hopefully it just doesn't die, you know? Board Sweeper is probably the only way we lose this game. Especially now that we know our opponent is stuck on mana. I guess I'm going to attack with Red Cap Thief first. I don't actually need a forest, shockingly, because I have Treasure plus Root Rider Fawn. They're stuck on 2 mana, and we just played a turn 4 Gruff Triplets. That's got to be a brutal feeling. I would imagine. I don't think that's going to happen every time, but you know that is partly why I wanted the Fawns and the Thieves, because they do make it easier to pay that triple green. But we only have 1 Thief, so we'd have 9 forests though. So you know, we really. That's brutal. Like, I think they probably lose that game no matter what, but being stuck on 2 and your opponent accelerating into a turn 4 Gruff Triplets has got to be one of the most miserable feelings. All right, this hand's not quite as bonkers, but it's good. So if I play Root Rider Fawn, I can play 2 Grand Ball Guests next turn. That's probably what we want to do. Hey, there's Utopia Sprawl. I would have liked one of those. Okay. That's interesting. I don't think they realized it was until your next instep. But okay, so let's just play out 2 Grand Ball Guests. It's not quite as impressive. Oh, I actually can't. I only have 1 red. I played the wrong land. Good job, me. Okay, well, we're gonna get in for 1 then. Yeah, that's what was my plan all the time, the whole time. I swear. Well, I probably need to kill this thing, but it can grow. There's a decent chance they can make it a 2/2 here. I guess we'll find out. It's not that likely they can make it more than a 2/2, but I can at least play this at instant speed. So I think I just play out another guest and hold up the bolt. Yeah, so we'll just bolt it. They do have a bunch of mana. They'll have 6. Maybe they're going to play Gruff Triplets. Yeah, if it was just the torch... I mean, you could say that wouldn't be that bad, but there is the combat trick that gives +2/+1 that's attached to an adventure, and that would have made it, and it's a common, and that would have made it too big to die to my, wow, that's annoying. That would have made it too big to die to my bolt, so. I don't love our chances in this game. We've expended a lot of resources, and they still have a lot. You know, that's not... And they're at 16. So, We could always draw Gruff triplets. You know, that's always that's always a possibility. But yeah. Somebody asked earlier what my favorite archetype is, and I don't know if this is my favorite, but I think red-green I've always won 6 or more games with, so it's gone pretty well. This is like the 4th time I've drafted it, probably. Okay. Well, this might be a pretty nice turn, huh? So, yeah, we're going to go trainee. And then I think we go ahead and kill Questing Druid. Now suddenly they're at low enough life that I feel better about things. If I draw a cheap permanent this turn... Okay, well apparently I don't need to do anything. Apparently that was enough. Killing their Questing Druid twice was enough to... draft or cross-draft formats. I don't know. I mean, blue-green decks I often like a lot. They tend to be, on average, probably like the most grindy, value-oriented decks. Probably have to mulligan. I mean, we have this in our hand, but with 0 sources of green, our chances of casting it at any point in this game are really low. We do have a 2-drop, but I think we're in enough trouble mana-wise that we can't really keep it. Oh, don't you love it when you mulligan into a hand like this? Once you're going down to 5 cards, like a hand like this starts to look a little better. Our first hand obviously was the better one, but I do think we have to mulligan again. Okay, okay. Well, so I think we'll put back the Gale Fang and a Mountain. So we have a decent early game, but... I think we'll play the guest, because if we draw a land for Ratcatcher Trainee, the next turn's going to be spicy. It looks like they have Torch the Tower, though, so maybe not. Yep. Ooh. Your win percentage really drops when you go down to 5 cards. Well, at least it's not attacking me as a 3/3. I mean, they almost certainly have a combat trick, so we're not blocking, but it didn't get bigger. So I'm happy about that. Man, a red-white deck has to think that long about things. Well, I mean, Tough Cookie's a pretty good draw. Yeah, I even get to attack with a 3/3 Trampler. Probably a better draw than a land, honestly. Well, time to get attacked with the 3/3. Alright, so I should probably just kill Ash with Stone Splitter Bolt here while I can. Using Bargain, that is. So, yeah. I think that's probably the plan. I guess I can attack first. I mean, I can make 2/1/1s and attack with a 3/3 Trampler, but it results in us dying pretty quickly. So, Yeah, let's go ahead and attack with... I always forget this is an instant. That does make things interesting, doesn't it? But, yeah, let's attack with Grand Ball Guest here. Nothing happened. We're going to go ahead and kill Ash while we can. X equals 2. Bargain. I left Tough Cookie back so that maybe the rats won't attack me, but looks like we were successful. I don't have any other artifacts to animate. It's worth remembering, so don't really need to worry about that. Okay. Do need to worry about this. I have no good way to block it, other than making 2/1/1s at instant speed and hoping they don't have a trick and making this a 3/3, which I guess might just be what I'm supposed to do here. Yeah, so we'll pass. It's not an utter blowout like if they use a trick and kill Grand Ball Guest, so I think I can live with it. Yeah, okay. So I guess we're going to take 4 now, probably. Oh boy. A land would have been nice because I could have played out... No, I couldn't have. I was thinking I could have played out 2 bodies that could block. But that's not true. I think we're probably dead, right? I can gain 3 life here, so that probably... Oh no, I can't. I don't have... This does not have haste. Not too surprising we get destroyed in a game where we drew, you know, 5 lands. We would go to 1 if nothing else happens, but I'm sure something's gonna happen. Okay. Well, uh-oh. That's not what I wanted to see. So we can play out 3 blockers, but it's not enough because they can animate their land. I guess we'll make them do it. People forget about creature lands sometimes. Every now and then they forget about them. Of course, they have an art style for theirs, so I kind of doubt they're gonna forget about it. Clearly, they like the card. And we're dead. You know, given that we mulliganed to 5 and they had such an aggressive start, I don't feel too bad about how that went, you know? I don't feel too bad. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. We don't have a great mana base. I mean, we have a couple treasure cards and stuff, but having an Evolving Wilds would have been pretty nice in this deck. We passed a couple, and I think we were right to pass them when we did. We just didn't see them at the right time to go after them. Same with the Adventure Land. All right, this hand is much better. We've already got 2 green sources, which is good. Grand Ball Guest or Picnic Ruiner. I mean, because there's very little chance Picnic Ruiner is going to be better immediately. I mean, we could draw our 4-2, but it's not in our hand right now. I think we play the Guest and see if we have a chance to get the value of the Adventure out of Picnic Ruiner. Although, chances are good that next turn, if I don't draw something else to play, I'll just run it out there because, you know, adding another thing to the board is a good idea, generally speaking. So yeah, we'll just run it out there. Uh-oh. We'll put that on the bottom. So they have a Horned Lock Whale coming at some point. Let's remember that. So next turn, this will attack as a 2-2 with Double Strike. Because we'll play Imidane. Okay, it'll attack as a 1-1 with Double Strike. You know, we had one deck where we went nuts with this card. I'm kind of hoping our opponent doesn't do that, but there's kind of a good chance that they do, unfortunately. Hopefully, like, turn 4 Bellowing Bruiser swing out is, like, a powerful enough turn to put them too far behind to find their way out of this, but obviously if this game goes long, they're going to win. If they have a spell to double with this next turn, we'll really be in trouble. So, interesting. Do they put it back? Yep, they're going to. They can't cast it this turn, though, so that means... Yeah. Okay. So, obviously enough, they're going to put Bellowing Bruiser back on top of our library. And I do think we put it on top because it's still going to be a pretty good play. Actually, it probably won't. Dang. Yeah, I mean, they have this coming down next turn. Or Horned Lock Whale if they have an island. So... Bellowing Bruiser is no longer going to do what we needed to. Probably just need to find Gruff Triplets if we're going to win this game now. So I'm just going to put it on the bottom. I guess I'm 2 mana away from being able to cast the unblockable part, and I could have done that for a turn, but the fact that this freaking thing has Ward would have made that hard. But I guess I would have gotten in for 3 here, but then they would have just gained the life back. Yeah, I don't like our chances in this one. Our opponent making Gadwick's first duel do the thing was bad. Honestly, as much of an advantage as they have right now, both on board and in cards, it's going to make it kind of hard, even if we draw Gruff Triplets, I think, to navigate our way out of this. Oh, yeah. We're not winning this game. Okay, a big creature. Kind of nice, I guess. The double Horned Lock Whale, man. That was brutal. I guess I should have just not attacked. Was that the better move? Just not attacking with my, my thing? I guess I'm going to take 11. I could trade, but I think the only way we win is if we have some insane draw off the top of our deck. So they're going to be able to play this next turn. That is not an insane draw. Boy, we like dominated our first 2 games and then got kind of crushed the next 2. I guess the last one we didn't really get crushed. I wonder if I should have gone a more control route with Gruff Triplets, like taking things like Hamlet Glutton and the like. But it seemed like all the red-green aggro stuff was flowing pretty well. Pretty well. Thank you for the follow, Harvey AFK. Well, it won't be as bad as the other day. That much I know. Where we started 0-3, and the draft was shorter than this one was, and we finished 0-3. And like all our games were lost. I mean, our deck wasn't amazing, but we had horrible variants, so it won't be that bad no matter what. But it will be sad if this deck sort of limps, and it's doing its best to try to limp to a. Oh, God. Like I said, our mana's not amazing, but this kind of hand is brutal. Where you have Gruff Triplets and you don't have a single green source. Like, if one of these was a forest, I'd keep this hand, probably. And I could still consider it. I have Torch and Grand Ball Guest, but there's a very good chance that Gruff Triplets will feel like I mulliganed anyway. You know what I mean? Because the triple green is that big of a problem. So, I think we have to mulligan. Alright, this makes me feel better about things. I am going to put a mountain back, because we can play everything off 2 lands, and we may as well hold on to the, you know, well, we can't play this adventure, but you know what I mean. Oh, nice. 1 drop off the top. I think I'm okay with just attacking here. If they want to trade, that's fine. And if they want to take 2, that's fine. Yeah, we haven't really been... I mean, I guess the mulligan stuff has been bad, I guess. Especially in that last game, but... Our luck hasn't been that bad in terms of any of that, really. We just ran into decks that were good. You know, like, that's just kind of how it went down. It's kind of funny that this makes Graceful Takedown better. That's kind of annoying for our opponent. Because I can count this as an enchanted creature. It doesn't have to be one that is enchanted by an aura I control. It's kind of funny they left that in there. So I think... Do I want to play Grand Ball Guest or get 2 rats here? I'm probably going to get 2 rats. I can, of course, leave my mana up, so that's what I'll do. Because I can just power them out now. I mean, the only thing that makes me think a little bit about playing the Guest is obviously I can use this as a combat trick next turn. But, yeah, I don't think that's what I want to do. Yeah, that's annoying, but luckily I'll be able to kill it thanks to Bitter Chill. What a weird situation. Yeah, so we go Graceful Takedown. Grand Ball Guest. Ratcratcher Trainee does carry that. Uh-oh, this is happening again, huh? Luckily, we don't have anything that's that downgraded that much. I'm just worried about Chapter 3 mostly. Oh, good. Yeah, that card is kind of murder on us right now. Because it can just block anything and kill it. I could sack this and put a young hero roll on that, but that's like really not very good. I mean, it still doesn't really, it still dies. So yeah, we don't, well, it would become a 3/3 and then a 4/4. No, just a 3/3. But yeah, it still wouldn't really work out. But I think we're probably going to lose this one too, guys. Unless we draw Gruff Triplets, of course. That's the, I can't complain too much. I think we used up all our good luck on that first game where we got to play a turn 4 Gruff Triplets and our opponent got mana screwed. Like, doing that once is enough to make this deck worth it, but, you know. I have liked this more than I thought I would in, like, blue-red and in, like, slower red-green decks. Well, we have Gruff Triplets mana, if nothing else. So, putting a Young Hero roll token here is a little more interesting, but it would still die because, yeah, it would become a 3/2, but then they double block it. And I kill one of them, and then the other one... Well, if I kill Skewer Slinger, the board does open up a little bit. But they're also about to do this, and it's not going to be good. And I don't imagine decreasing the number of bodies I have in play is what I want to do ahead of that. So we're just going to go ahead and pass. We did crazy stuff with this. I don't remember if it was during the early access or the first regular stream. And I hadn't seen anyone else do anything with it yet, but looks like we're going to see back-to-back opponents pay us back. I can sack this at instant speed, so, you know, if they target it, I can at least put a Young Hero roll on something, which obviously isn't exciting, but especially if it's a rat or whatever. I probably put it on Grand Ball Guest. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to kill... Oh my god. We're getting destroyed by cards that do 1 damage to things. Okay. So yeah, we'll put this on Grand Ball Guest. We do have an out. It's called Gruff Triplets. Other than that, I don't really think we have one. Well, okay. Question here is whether it's better to make 2 things unable to block. It probably is. Make 2 things unable to block, swing for 3, and then play it as a creature next turn. I could just play it and attack, which has value in itself. If I had 1 more mana, I could do both, which would be really spicy, but I can't. This will become a... Yeah, that part makes it worth it, I think. Up to 2 target creatures can't block. You guys can't block. No, thank you. Attack you for 4. Down to 8. We do want to play this land so that next turn, if we draw a cheap thing, we can play Bellowing Bruiser. Something else, buff this. Give it trample. I think it's a pretty good format. I don't know. I don't think... I mean, I have a... video on my YouTube channel, my 5 early takeaways about the format that will sort of sum up a lot of what I guess are my early tips for the format. Yeah. Okay. Okay, it's really sad they killed my Grand Ball guess, because this would have been a pretty amazing turn, but as is, it's not as good. However, Tough Cookie's pretty good here. So they're obviously going to double block and kill my Bellowing Bruiser here. If I attack, I don't necessarily have to. Might be better to wait till I can animate the food into a 4/4 next turn and throw 2 4-power things at them. Yeah, that's probably better, because if I attack, they double block. Killing one of these doesn't really solve any problems for us. And then I lose Bellowing Bruiser, so let's just play Tough Cookie here. Good thing I played that land, though, instead of trying to bluff or something, because that would have been bad. I guess our Imidane combo could be an out. Yeah, okay. That's bad. I was gonna say, they could pretty much attack with everything here. 4, 6, 7. Jeez. They just have it all, don't they? And we have nothing. All right. Well, we're dead. We have food, actually, so we're not. How about that? All right, so let's attack for 2. 4, 7. Yeah, so let's go ahead and make the treasure, because if we make the treasure... Yeah. Go up to 6 here. Block one of these. Take whatever they hit me in the air for. Well. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot. Are we going to lose to another creature land? Maybe. Okay. Yeah. So we go to 1 here. Lose our grabby giant. Gruff Triplets won't even save us now. Of course. This opponent's deck was completely ridiculous. Don't you love when you play someone and it's like every time you do anything, and it's not even something powerful, you're just trying to survive for maybe one more turn, and they're just like, nope. Nope. I'm telling you, we used up all our luck on that first game with our turn 4 Gruff Triplets, and then after that it was all downhill from there.